Today we're going to talk about this lens. This is the new 50 to 200mm f2.8 Pro lens from OM System. And I've only been using it for 1 day. I had 1 day with this lens before I had to return it. So this will not be like an in-depth review, but you will get my thoughts on this lens after using it for a few hours, and you will get lots of sample photos so you can see what kind of images this lens can produce. I think one of the nicest things with this lens is that while being fairly lightweight and easy to carry, you can take many different kinds of photos with it. It has a large maximum magnification of 0.25 times, which corresponds to 0.5 times in full frame when it comes to the framing of the shot. It's not really a macro lens, but almost, so you can take some insect photos, or at least photos with insects in them. You can also use it to take landscapes or cityscapes to a certain degree, and you can use it for portraits, wildlife, birds, many different things. This lens also works with OM System's teleconverters, so you can use the 1.4 times one to lose one stop but get more focal length, and you can use the MC20 to lose 2 stops of light and get double the focal length, which in full frame equivalent would be then 800mm. So this lens comes with a tripod collar, which you can detach. When I walk around with it, I prefer not to have a tripod collar because the lens is light enough not to have to put it on a tripod. It's 1073 grams as measured by me, without any caps or anything. It also comes with a pretty nice lens hood, and it's easy to attach and detach the lens hood, so it works a lot better than, for example, on the OM System 300mm lens that I tested earlier. As you can see, we have a lot of different buttons on the lens. We have a focus limiter, so you can limit the focus to a certain range to get even faster autofocus. In my experience, when using this lens on the OM1 Mark II, the autofocus was very fast, very accurate, even when I set the lens to full. You also have a switch to switch between autofocus and manual focus. You have a switch to turn off and on the image stabilization. And then you also have buttons on the lens itself that you can bind to whatever you want to bind it to. And when I first heard about this lens, my first thought was that it is pretty similar in specifications to the already existing 40 to 150mm lens from OM System. That lens, yeah, it has a slightly shorter maximum focal length, but that lens is a lot cheaper. I think it's around 1,400 euros or dollars, while this lens, if I understand it correctly, will be priced at around double that. It will be around 3,000 euros or US dollars, so it's a lot more expensive. Another difference, however, between the 40 to 150 and this one is that this one has image stabilization, and lots of it. It is really, really smooth when it comes to image stabilization. Apparently it has 7 steps, and yeah, it really feels like 7 steps. So, for example, if you're gonna use it for filming, then yeah, this is great, and it can really be worth spending the extra money for that. This video is brought to you by my ebooks. If you want to support this channel and if you want to learn everything I know about macro photography and about editing macro photos, I suggest you take a look at my ebooks. I have the Macro Photography Handbook, the big book, 126 pages with everything you want to know about taking great macro photos. And then I also have a slightly shorter and cheaper book, the Macro Editing Handbook, with everything you need to know about how I edit my macro photos. Go check them out. Thank you. But if you can live without the in-lens image stabilization, I mean the camera itself has pretty good image stabilization already, yeah, then you can save a lot of money by instead just buying the 40 to 150, because that lens is also excellent when it comes to image quality. And it is slightly lighter as well, The 40 to 150 comes in at 760 grams, and this one is almost 1100 grams. Although the weight wasn't an issue at all for me, this lens is still pretty lightweight. It's easy to carry around for 2 or 3 or 4 hours without it being too much of an issue. I spent 3 hours yesterday walking around Stockholm with this lens, and yeah, it wasn't a problem at all. It's also fairly compact. It fit in my shoulder bag, which isn't super big. So it's nice that you can really have this as a walk-around lens if you want to. So this lens was pretty much exactly what I expected. A premium feeling, professional feeling, fun lens with a super sturdy build quality, great, if not perfect, image quality. I mean, I didn't spot any issues whatsoever with the image quality. It's super sharp, no chromatic aberrations obviously or anything like that. So it was exactly what I expected. Fun lens, costs a lot of money, but if you are a professional photographer or just feel like you want to spend this kind of money to get the best lens of this type, then yeah, it's a solid purchase. As you can see in these images, you can get fairly close with this lens. It's not really a macro lens, but not far from it. This is about as close as you can get without any teleconverter or anything. If you do apply a teleconverter, you can get even closer. And the maximum magnification of this lens of 0.25, it only is applicable at the maximum zoom at 200 millimeter. If you shoot at 50 millimeter, you will not get really as close. I think this lens is a great purchase for anyone who is in the OM system and wants a lens that is a great all-round wildlife lens. You can use this for many different kinds of animals. You can use it for birds to some extent, even though maybe you want to combine it then with a teleconverter to get even closer. And you can use it for smaller things like flowers and butterflies. I think this lens is probably perfect for butterflies, although I didn't encounter any on my walk yesterday. So if you're into all of those things and you want the best possible lens for that, then yeah, I think this is a solid option. And with that, thank you for watching this video and see you soon again.